I be trying to do these lives every night. So you definitely gave me a topic for tonight. I
And
appreciate
listen,
everything, man.
go ahead, put Joseph McClendon yourself, right hand up, pat yourself on the
Yes,
back.
yes,
There you go.
definitely, man. I
Because you did the
appreciate
work,
you.
Lionel. You did the work, brother. I
All
love you
right,
tons.
bro.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for
Appreciate
letting me do what I love to do. I love to do this.
it. Appreciate you, man. Have a good day.
Okay. I don't know how to get you out, so you're going to have to like X out and come back in. Y'all hearing this? Y'all seeing how simple this is when somebody's not, when somebody cares enough about you so that it's not about what they do for you. It's about how you can unlock you. You need to realize, you need to understand, you have everything you want. Everything you want is as close as your skin. Lionel's experience was as close as his skin. Smooth's experience was as close as your skin. Listen, some of the biggest blocks you have are the easiest ones to fix because you know where they are. You know what it is. You know where the block is happening right now. Those are easy. We're uncovering them in 5 minutes. It doesn't take 25 hours. It doesn't take 100 days. Now, what it'll take for every one of them is 18 months to wire in the good, because you do have to have new cellular energy. This is where it's going to be required that you write down your dreams, you write down your thoughts, you write down this experience, because if you write down this experience, when somebody asks you, when did it change? When did it happen? You get to write down the moment, because you've just entered into a whole nother level. You've entered into this whole nother level, and this whole nother level that you've entered into is freedom. And a lot of times when we become free, we got to look for the cage. It's not the bars that hold the lion, the tiger, right? We've heard this. It's the space between them. And when the bars are gone, when you take away your blocks and you have freedom, you sometimes feel you have lost your ability to make a decision. So just know that when you step into that freedom, you will have all of the decision-making capabilities that you need, because they're as close as your skin. Let's see here. Binky Blue 2. Let's see here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Appreciate you. Binky Blue 2, how are you? Tell me your first name. Are you there?
Joy, yes. Joy.
Hey, Joy, how are you? Joy, how can I be of service to you?
Just listening to your gems.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Joy. If you've got a question for me, feel free to ask. Here's the thing, and
I will.
And so the key is, listen, as you're listening to all of this, and as every one of you are listening to this, listen, what I do is I hear at a level that most don't hear. I hear what you're not saying. I hear the thing that is holding you back. And I hear the thing that you've used as a shield to guard you from your story, but I get to see on the other side of the shield. That's why I can go kind of, people are saying, how did he do that? Because first of all, I do it out of a sheer place, a true place of love, right? If somebody says I can hate you for no reason, I can love you for no reason. I can love you for the heartbeat you have. So when you come up and you raise your hand and you've got enough courage to step in front of the spotlight, the reality comes down to this. You can have more of what you want in this lifetime, not the next. And what I choose to do is to not have a long, listen, I'm on a small talk diet. You got an issue? Come to me. Let's bring it. Let's get it over with. Let's get through it so that we can have the next conversation. Because no matter what I say today, no matter what I do today, if you've got a block, you can't hear it. You're hearing it with your desire ear, but your functional ear, the actual part of your subconscious brain that needs to go do the work, it's a little stuck. And you'll come up with 75 reasons. It's called the automatic distraction, or ANTS, as Dr. Amen calls them, automatic negative thinking. So we get caught in these things. We get caught in these trials and these challenges that we can't move through the process. And until we get that stone out of the way for Lionel, until we get that challenge out of the way like we did for Smooth, it's hard to have a breakthrough. Hello, young lady. You just joined us. Tell me your first name.
Hello.
Tell me your first name. What's your first name?
My first name is
Hey, Tasha. Tasha, how can I be of service to you?
Yay. I was on your call earlier this morning, and I just wanted to thank you first just for just your magic and your powers, just in the short amount of time of just meeting you. I was actually on the call on Friday, and then I was so happy that you were able to join again this morning. I guess so thank you so much. Obviously, I'm so grateful, and always just starting my day with gratitude. So I just resonate with your energy so much. I tried to be a positive person, so it just my soul connects with your energy. So right now I am a newly business owner, and I've just been, I guess, dealing with perfectionism and overachieving. So I guess that's just a downfall. Like, I think I remember earlier from the call this morning, you had said something about, you know, if you fall short of that goal, you are still adequate or something or another. So I guess that's kind of the guidance that I'm looking for, is how to get out of that mindset that,
Okay.
you know, if I don't reach X, then I'm Y.
Okay. So, Tasha, can I ask you 3 questions?
Absolutely.
Do I have your permission to help?
Yes, absolutely. I'm open.
Do I have your permission to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable?
Absolutely. That's where growth
Permission
happens.
Permission to take you out of that uncomfortable feeling.
Yes.
Cool. So, perfectionism is the highest form of procrastination. Now, that being said, did I hear a little one running? Did I hear a little one in the background in your audience?
Yes. This is Ziana.
Is that your daughter?
That's my
your
daughter. Yes,
Okay.
my daughter.
So, let me ask you this. I'm going to make this. Is it okay if we do this quickly?
Absolutely.
Is it okay if we do it in every cell in your body?
Yes.
From now until forever.
Now until forever.
And did you say her name was Sayana? Say her name again.
Ziana, like Zion with an A.
So say it all again.
Ziana.
Ziana. Okay. So is Ziana perfect?
In my eyes, yes, absolutely.
So is she going to have some bumps and bruises along the way?
Absolutely.
Are you going to be there when her bumps and bruises show up?
Not always.
So are you going to be there for the next 90 days for her?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Talking
So is
in
it
the
okay?
intermediate time, yeah.
Is it okay as her perfection becomes more perfect that you join her on her journey? And is it okay if you let bumps and bruises in your life be part of your journey?
Yes.
See, and if you let the bumps and bruises, you're now being the example of your daughter that done is the new perfect. And perfect will never be finished.
Right.
Because is Ziana your first child, second child?
Second.
So have you learned anything? Did the first one pay some prices because they were the first one that Ziana's getting the benefit of?
Yes, absolutely.
So how many goals have you birthed? What goal are you on now that you're wanting to be perfect? And it's your 38th goal. It's your 38th child. Give it some slack.
Okay.
You already know you're going to win. You already know that you're this amazing. There you go. Welcome home, Tasha. Good to see you. How long's it been since you had a breath like that?
Every morning I meditate. I do breath work. Yes.
Yeah.
But every breath helps.
You haven't decided the freedom. See, you're still talking from your head. I need you to move down to your heart.
Okay.
You're smarter than the average bear, Tasha. I don't know if you've got a degree or you've struggled or you've just made yourself smart, but you could talk around a circle and make everybody feel good, and you're still the smartest one in the room. I love you. I love you. This is that uncomfortable part.
Yeah.
You're the most loving person in the room, and you don't have to be smart to do that. Take a breath. Look at Ziana. She's not the sharpest. You're smarter than her, but she runs you like a rag doll. She's got you wound tight. And that's because you love her and she loves you. Is it okay? Now, you may have been hurt in the past by allowing love in. So that's where this perfection comes in. So if you were my student, the first thing I'd say to you, Tasha, is, are you ready for the love? Right. Because when you start to do more things, people are going to say thank you, which means more love, and you're going to become uncomfortable, and you'll find a way to sacrifice or sabotage yourself because love is something that has been a problem, a challenge for you. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. Bullseye. Yeah.
Okay. So if that makes sense to you, is it okay if you let me love you a little bit?
Yes, you already have. You've shown me so much love in such a short amount of time. So
is it okay if that love is absolutely on an energetic level and it ends there?
Yes.
See, because that love definition of love you may have had in the past was tied to other things.
Right.
See how we're starting to separate it?
Absolutely.
Which is hard for a woman's brain, which is hard for a male brain because everything is connected. Here's what I want you to know. Every time you go do something, say this, because you love to be in service. Say, this is for Zion first, then for me.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm leaving a legacy for my grandchildren, so it really doesn't matter how I feel today.
Right.
See how we changed the way you looked at things and the things you looked at change?
Absolutely. Yes. The perspective shift. Absolutely.
Does that give you some freedom?
Yes. I am going to take that with me moving forward. Yes. My why behind it is to, like you said, leave a legacy for my children. You're 100% correct.
So, because the reason that I do this and the reason I do it on social media, I am not your social media icon. But I do it so that it can be recorded for my great-great-grandchildren when they want to go, what did Grandpa Murph do? They can go to, if Instagram's still around, they can go to the archives of Instagram and they can go look at our conversation and say, how did Grandpa Sean have a conversation with this beautiful, amazing, gorgeous woman who he hadn't even known, and the two of them are loving each other after like 5 minutes? Because see, Tasha, that's what the world needs. That's why I need you. I can't do what you do. I can teach you. I can teach you how to have more of what you want, and you can go share it, because they won't listen to me, but they'll listen to you. So I need you.
Oh, thank you so much. That was amazing. Wow. Okay. Perfection doesn't exist.
What's
yes.
one thing you learned, one thing you liked?
One thing I learned is that my head too much a lot. I learned that just always being in my head. I need to lead with my heart, get more in the heart. Like we spoke earlier this morning, the center. I think I get too wrapped up here that I forget my center. It's not about the past or the future. It's my center. And one thing I liked everything about this conversation, not only just what you've shared with me, but previous.
Look at that smile. So listen, when you see that smile, there's absolutely no way you can ever wait again. There's absolutely no way you can ever pause. Because here's when somebody asks you what you do, you're not a new business owner. I found a group of people who are going to help me take care of my great-great-grandchildren in this lifetime so that I can leave a legacy for the rest of my life. Well, how do you do that? Very well. Why do you ask? Make the vision bigger than a compensation plan, bigger than a business model. Build the name on your mailbox, not the name on the company check. I've just been able to launch a business that Ziana will be able to take over when she's 18 if she chooses to. She'll have the freedom to make her own choices. Freedoms that I've never had as a young woman. Freedoms I never had as a teen. And some of the bad things that were done to me, I am building a business so that she is isolated and insulated and only sees the good in the world because I get to make that choice as her mother.
1000%. I mean, get out of my head. I literally was thinking that this morning, you know, as I held her this morning, I literally was thinking that I do it for those reasons, for her freedom, for her to not have to worry or have doubt that she can't come to me for it.
So, yeah. Now, we may have more conversations, and I pray that day is soon. But thank you for allowing me to do what I do. Thank you for sharing Ziana with us and this amazing soul, because you and I will both be wonderful. The reason I truly do what I do is for Ziana. Because if I can get you squared away, I take care of the next generation. I'm leaving a legacy of 600 generations. That's 2,400 years.
Wow.
So.
Amazing. You're just so amazing. And thank you for bringing that out of me today. I just, you know, it's just so funny. We never know what the day can hold, you know, and
I know, isn't it great? I live that way with every breath. I click the I'm going live button, and this happened. Are you kidding me? Oh, we can't be more joyful. This is amazing.
So grateful, Sean. Thank you so much for your work and just spreading it with me and the rest of the world. Well, so appreciative.
Thank you for letting me do what I love, and thanks for being a part of the family, and thanks for letting me be a part of your family.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know how to send you on your way, or you good, right? So we'll figure that out. Laura Mendez. I love Laura Mendez. She's part of the inner circle of my community. And yes, my teachings will undevelop you. I love you so much, Laura. So there you go. How cool is this? Let's look. There's a question here. How do you get out of your comfort zone because of, oh, here you go. So first of all, there is no such thing as a comfort zone. There's only a pain zone and a joy zone. We mask it by calling it a comfort zone. That's just society's way of saying, you know, where you're at, it's okay. Don't work too hard. Don't move too hard. Don't stress yourself. There's no such thing as a comfort zone. There's either a pain zone or a joy zone. And you're so used to the pain, you now call it comfort, right? So there's the old story about the guy who walks up to the country farmer's house, and the old farmer sitting on his front porch in his rocking chair, and there's the old hound dog there on the porch, and the hound dog's going, oh, and the salesman's talking to the farmer, and he goes, why is your dog howling? He goes, he's sitting on a nail. And he says, well, why doesn't he move? Because he's not in enough pain. He's in his comfort zone. He's howling. He's saying, I want more. I wish I had more. But boy, there is no such thing as a comfort zone. Now, I understand it. So how do you move through it? How do you move into the joy zone? The phenomenon, the reason that you get stuck is a phenomenon called addiction to approval. You're worried about who's going to, let me just look at something real quick. So Gwen, I'm going to make a wild assumption. As a strong woman, Gwen's empire too. So you have this strong, determined belief inside of you just by that name, which means at some point people have made you feel weak. Possibly. I listen, I'm just going on a name here. And I'm looking at the way that you're looking, right? In that picture. And it's a real tiny picture. So this idea that you're needing to step into your future pace, the way you get there is not by, first of all, a QLQ, Who do I become? What talent or skill do I develop because all of a sudden I'm in this higher joy? So I see the yes, probably somebody made you feel weak in the past. Listen, I want to be a part of your empire too. So if that's the case, don't look at it differently than being the warrior. There's 4 archetypes. There's the 4 archetypes. There's the queen, the magician, the warrior, and the lover. A lot of times, strong women believe they're operating from their queen when they're truly operating from their warrior or their wounded lover, and they wind up why they get stuck and frustrated. And a lot of times they go to guys who they want to have, no biggie, how are you? Good to see you. Long time no see. The reason is they go to, sometimes they listen to guys because it seems much simpler. Well, because we are simpler. We're a little bit slower on the uptake. So what I would share with you is first love who you are right now. And that old story, that wound that possibly that needs some healing, we can, you can decide when you want that to be healed. Because sometimes the wound is the only thing we have that keeps us alive because we don't have something bigger. Napoleon Hill would call it definiteness of purpose, a clear definiteness of purpose. That's why chapter 1 is a desire. That's why in Wallace D. Wattles' book, The Science of Getting Rich, the largest chapter is on gratitude. So being in the gratitude of where you are right now, being thankful for where you are right now, being thankful for all of the wounds and all of the scars, and truly sitting there in this moment of gratitude. Sadhguru says, the gentleman from India, the guru from India, he says, in this moment we have a choice, misery or joy. And it seems like a real simple choice. In the Bible, it says, I set before you life and death. Choose life. Why would we need all of these indicators? Why would we need all of this simplicity of how to operate this spiritual being who's in this human form? Why would it be so difficult? Because somebody doesn't know how to say it's okay to be in your kingdom and let you be the queen. All too often, it's kind of like Game of Thrones when queens argue with each other and they're like, oh, you're good and you're good. And then they leave and they go back. I want their kingdom dead. I want their, right? So in this world of competition, I would encourage you to be, in this world of cooperation, be in competition, because here's what I know. There's 2 ways to have the tallest building in town. Build yours bigger or tear everybody else's down. And I'm going to encourage any of you who may not know you're tearing other people down, but you're tearing yourself down. It's exhausting you. In this moment, decide that you are enough and you don't have to keep up with anybody else. The only one that you have to stay with, you don't have to keep up. You're already with your higher self. You're already with that infinite intelligence. That's what beats your heart. That's what wakes you up in the morning. I know sometimes it's an alarm clock, but how many of us have ever slept through an alarm clock? It's that higher part of you that knows that you want more. I don't know how tall you are, but I'm going to make a wild assumption that maybe you're taller than 5'5", Gwen. Maybe you're not. If you're not, I've got another set of stories that go along with that. If you're taller than 5'5", there's a whole nother set of reasons why there's some challenges that exist. And if you're less than that, 5'5" is not the cutoff number. But if there's less than that, then sometimes there's this idea that you've got to do more to be seen. So here's what I want you to say. Here's what I want you to feel. In this moment, you're enough. So you're 5'3". So there's this idea that you've got, right? Dynamite comes in small packages. You've got to live in this dynamite world where you've got to be bigger than everything. Here's what I also know. The softest kiss, the butterfly kisses with eyelashes, are the smallest things of affection, and they're the greatest things we've ever done with our kids or have ever had done to us with a special lover. So is it okay if you sit in your queendom? Is it okay if you sit in this elegance that is you, this 5'3", absolute amazing soul who runs a queendom of a place that has walls built with whatever you choose the walls out of, flowers, stones, however, but the gate is opened. And you allow all in because you do still have your warrior. You still do have your magician when you say, I need that fixed. I need that gone. And you access your magician. I take people, I do a training on the archetypes to find out where the archetype resides in your body. What's the sound? If you've ever been to a Tony Robbins UPW, he does the same thing. I teach you to find where it resides, how you can access it, and how you can operate life instantly with the 4 archetypes. The king, the queen, the sovereign, we call it the sovereign, guys. So the king or the queen, your magician, your lover, and the warrior. And how to give the warrior enough energy so that it never has to battle again. Sometimes our warrior's a freaking ninja. It can take out an army. But what if we made the warrior big enough that it could stand with a complete smile and never have to be afraid of anything ever again? So I hope that helps, Gwen. I hope that gives you a little bit of an insight. Here's what I know. Because you asked the question, you've already been to the other side. I'm giving you permission to stay there. Will you give yourself permission? Hope that helps. I hope it does. I know it. I know it does. I'm speaking to your subconscious when I say that. So, anyone else? Any other questions or comments? I couldn't keep up with all of the folks coming in and everything else. I just want to say thank you. And again, I've got a couple of hundred people to follow, and I'm doing the work, right? I don't have an assistant that goes in and sends you back these messages. When you get them, those are from me. So it'll take me a little bit. So thank you for all of the tags. Thank you for all of the posts. Thank you for all of the comments. Thank you for the love. And the reason that you can give it is because there's space in me. I need you to hear this so that as you begin to build your groups and organizations, people are going to love you. Just like I said to Tasha, are you ready for the love? That's your next big exercise. Are you ready for the love? And I know there's going to be some false love and different things and all that stuff. But what I will say is this. When you operate at the true highest sense of love, this true highest sense of self, even if it's a crappy or wrong love, I try to do it Elway Defy. I'm not sure what the name is. I apologize. I try to do this every day or maybe twice a day. Why? Because I can. Because I get to, don't have to. So, as you operate in this higher sense of love, what happens is that even if crappy love shows up, it comes through your filter and it turns into real love because you just choose not to accept any of that other energy. Here's another question. Let's see. I love questions. How do you believe in yourself in the same way you believe in others? Okay. How do you believe in yourself the same way you believe in others? Well, the key is we've got to start with ourselves because the belief that we have in others, this is that hard part. Remember question number 2, make you feel uncomfortable. It's easy for us to say we believe in others. But that's like saying I'm on second base while I'm still on first. I believe in second base. I believe second base is an amazing place. I believe in you on second base. It's hard. It's truly hard to believe in others if we don't believe in ourselves. So the way I would reverse that is if you became, follow me on this, the way that might make more sense is that if you became the witness to yourself right now, right? So imagine you and I are having this conversation. And let's see, who was it that said that? Let's see if I can figure it out. Christina. So Christina, you and I are having this conversation. Can you take an energetic field of yourself and stand it over here like 5 feet from the both of us while we're having this conversation? It sees you on your phone and sees me on my phone. It has a spiritual nature and it's the witness. Now I turn and I ask that self, the witness of you, I say, listen, tell me about Christina. What are your thoughts on Christina? What would your witness say about you? Your witness would say some pretty amazing things about you. Now, your higher witness, not the one that's filled with fear and doubt. And so, does your witness believe in you? And the answer is the witness does believe in you. So there's an old story that's keeping you from believing in you. Just kind of like we had with Tasha. This idea that if you believe in you, if the pain that's been done to you, if you believe in you, that makes that go away. That makes that okay that it happened. Doesn't make any of that okay that it happened. Doesn't make any of the joy that you had any less. Doesn't make any of the pain that you had any more. When you decide to believe in you, there's a certain level of calmness that happens. How many of us have ever heard that dogs can smell fear, right? Or something like that? I don't know. I've never been fearful around an animal, so I'm not sure. I've seen it happen. Well, how is that happening? See, here's the reality. If your thoughts travel at 186,000 miles a second, and you take an aspirin and it takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get rid of the headache or the pain, it's because chemicals move at 1 centimeter per second. Thoughts move at 186,000 miles a second. So when you say you believe in others, that's a story that you've told yourself to make it okay for you to have less belief in yourself. Well, I'm giving to them. I'm going to ask you to stand in front of a mirror and don't even say anything for 30 seconds. Typically, most people's dominant eye is their right eye. And the way you find that is you hold your finger out and you point at one particular thing and then you close it. Whichever eye is on the target, that's your dominant eye. I'd ask you to look into your right eye. It seems like the right eye is connected to the brain in a certain way. So when you look in the mirror, like I'm looking right now at my image, I'm looking over here, and that's over here, and that's over here. And you might be able to see my eyes adjust just from my right eye and my left eye. Just look at yourself in the mirror and don't say anything. Just stand there for a second and see what pops up. You might even start tearing up. Just start with 30 seconds. See if you can do that every day. And when you do that, what will happen is you'll start to uncover, you'll start to unlock some conversations that are running at the unconscious level inside of that brilliant mind of yours. And say anytime something really negative comes up or even positive comes up, anytime something negative comes up, because the idea of what we resist persists, when that negative thing shows up, say these words and it'll change your life forever. And I love that. It's kind of a crazy thing to say if something negative shows up, because what happens is in the state of love, in the presence of love, it can't exist, and you will work yourself through the process of allowing more belief in yourself. So I hope that helps, Christina. Hope that brought you some value. Anyone else, any questions or comments before I leave you and let you go on your day? I came on to say for all of you that were on the call this morning, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I've got so many of you to reach out to, so many of you who have made comments. Some of you have probably taken screenshots of this and shared it out, going,